side is around risk, and that is really difficult for example, psychiatrists who are often taking on that risk as an individual to feel supported by the community in looking after these really, really complex individuals. So one of the aims of building the right support is around thinking about a shared risk amongst the local area rather than that being on one individual.
And I think that's probably the biggest challenge to doing some of the things that we're doing, because some of it's quite brave. So people haven't been sent to hospital just because we're all mean, and they've been sent to hospital because we weren't quite. It's about safety and about ensuring that everybody's safe. And so in the absence if we're going to decide that we want to keep people in their communities, which I'm fairly sure is often the right thing to do, because when we break people's relationships with their families and their homes and their communities, in terms of contributing to mental ill health, it often does make things a lot worse. So we know we're doing the right thing, but in order to then make it work and make it doable, there's got to be some sense that it can be safe. And for it to be safe, the services have got to really collaborate and really support one another to be able to manage what that looks like in somebody's home, what it looks like, in a community setting. And often the medics, or there are particular people who feel that they're holding that responsibility. And what we need to do is make sure that people genuinely are not holding that responsibility on their own. So it's all right myth busting it if it genuinely means that it's a shared responsibility. So you've got to feel that the psychiatrist needs to know that we've got this, we've discussed it, we've planned it, we've got a risk plan that is safe enough to give it a go and not admit somebody to hospital. Otherwise, people are always going to want a hospital option, because what it will do, well, we could argue about this a bit, but it provides some safety in terms of the fact that somebody isn't in the community, in terms for children in particular, as to whether or not it is much safer, because we do know that people learn some very risky behaviours in hospital settings. But in theory, there's some safety around that and some observation and security and all of that stuff.